First of all, I would like to say how shocking it is for people to be flooded, and I really do appreciate the impact that the recent floods have had on people, not just on the Somerset levels, but across the country. But I would also say, in defence of the Environment Agency, they defended 1 million homes, and they have been working incredibly hard. So here you've got one of the most dramatic pumping operations in the country. We're pumping 10 tonnes a second, that's 1 million tonnes a day, costing over £100,000 a week. But I think what's very interesting, coming down last night, and I'd like to thank the two local MPs, Indra Granger and David Heath, we met some real experts last night who've been living in this area for a long time, and I had a very constructive meeting this morning with the local councils and the Environment Agency. And what I've asked them to do is to come up with a very clear action plan within 6 weeks. That will almost certainly involve a project to clear the Perrott and the Tone, but then long term look to see how, with partnership funding, local agencies such as the internal drainage boards, the county council, the 4 district councils can work together, and with the NGOs, people like the RSPB and the Wildlife Trust can play a real role in this, and to see how we can first of all hold water back further up in the hills, how we can do more with SUDGE, sustainable urban drainage systems, get more water soaked in the ground before it gets into the river systems, and also long-term planting. I think also there's a possible project has been floated, which is to put a big sluice down by Bridgewater to keep the tides out. Now, all that together is a long-term serious plan, which I hope will give us satisfactory results here over the next 20 years.
Have we missed a trick in terms of not dredging the local rivers? Some MPs have suggested that's happened. It may not have been on your watch, but it's your problem now.
No, I think Ian's been very clear about this, as has David. Quite clearly, the national guidelines do not appear to me to be appropriate for this very, very particular part of England, where you've got about 100 square miles well below sea level, which was cleared by the Dutch way back under Charles I, and where very active management of the waterways is required. So I am very clear that once the water is into these waterways, the purpose of these waterways, which are entirely man-made, is to get the water away. And what I want to see that done, but I want to see that combined with holding water back. So more SUDs, more planting, more wetland way back to slow the water. But once it's in those waterways, emphatically, I'm quite clear that the current guidelines are inappropriate for an area like the Levels.
Very often we come across in the media, and I'm sure you in politics come across them very often too, what they call in America AstroTurf campaigners, fake grassroots. What we're seeing here today is genuine anger. People feel marooned physically and forgotten politically. What's your message to them?
Well, I've come down personally to see the problem. Dan Rogerson, Junior Minister, was here only 10 days ago.
But you acknowledge local people are very angry.
And they're quite right to be angry. And it's absolutely legitimate. And that's how our political system works. And that's why the two local MPs have brought this to my attention. That's why I convened the meeting of the experts last night. That's why I led the meeting this morning with the local councils. And that's why I hope we will have a very clear action plan presented to me in 6 weeks' time so that I can make a categoric decision once and for all.